Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Parks and Wildlife Law Enforcement Division is starting a new canine program.
We are taking back some new recruits, and you feel pretty proud about your new recruit. He's your new partner.
Our fisheries managers give us a quota. And for instance, this year we're producing 24 million red drum fingerlings and release them into our Texas bays.
We collected horns and antlers, traded people beer and shots of whiskey for antlers and rattlesnake rattles over the years.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, a television series for all outdoors.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchase of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year.
Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
Wondering what Texas Game Wardens are doing amidst the mountains of Utah? They're here to pick up a few new recruits.
Parks and Wildlife Law Enforcement Division is starting a new canine program.
Good boy.
We looked all over the country for the best training, and we came to Utah.
The post-canine training program is designed to provide with the shortest amount of time, taking a dog and a handler from zero to hero.
Good boy, just a good boy.
And that translates to officers coming in who know very little about dogs, dogs coming in who know nothing about the task, and getting them within 8 weeks to be finely tuned, highly trained instruments of law enforcement.
Justin, come on, buddy. Check here.
For 2 months, wardens and their dogs go through intensive narcotics training.
They can pick up on residue amounts of narcotics where we as humans wouldn't even come close to detecting that.
Come here, check here.
The dogs are trained by scent memorization from tennis balls that smell like the object they are searching for.
The honor touch.
For Justin, it's just a game.
Good boy. Good boy. Oh, good boy. Oh.
But for the wardens, the job is serious.
We're law enforcement officers, and like it or love it or hate it, we're going to run into narcotics.
One for each.
They go hand in hand with hunting and fishing violations. We just want to be the best we can be to protect our community.
This program is world-renowned, training more than 2,500 teams from 50 countries.
We have trained the Iraqi National Police. We trained the bomb dog that found the bomb at the Dubai airport during the Yemen terror plot.
And the training doesn't stop after graduation. Future training will include tracking illegally taken wildlife.
He found all 3 narcotics in the vehicle. Yeah, he did good.
An odor is an odor is an odor to them. So that was part of the impetus for coming here and learning the narcotics. If we want to add an odor, say pheasants that somebody's killed and hidden, that would be real easy.
You want to go search?
The canine recruits will also learn statewide search and rescue techniques.
Fire department, search and rescue, send out search dog, make some noise.
Oh, we are taking back some new recruits. I mean, it's and you feel pretty proud about your new recruit. He's your new partner. We're a team now. And, you know, you take pride in that.
Truly, I lived the year waiting for the week that we get to go and catch fish.
Couldn't ask for a better scenario there. Let him go? Oh, yeah, let's let him go. I just got finned. Whoa. And there you have it.
trying to manage a particular fish is a 5-step process. First, you have to figure out what fish are out there and if their numbers are growing or declining.
The Parks and Wildlife Coastal Fisheries sampling program has been in place since the mid-70s, and we've been using a variety of sampling gears, including gill nets and bag seines and bay trawls, to monitor populations of marine species. We do that by keeping everything consistent over time so that as the catch changes, it reflects changes in populations.
204.
By tracking populations, we're able to make recommendations for the harvest of various marine species about how many can be caught and the size of fish that can be caught.
The Texas Parks and Wildlife Commission considers these recommendations when it makes any changes to game and fish regulations. This is the second step in fisheries management: regulation and enforcement of those regulations. Game wardens also have the responsibility to check fish markets and restaurants.
So in looking at this commercial fish house, one of the things that jumps out is he's got redfish, labeled redfish here. In this particular case, what I'll be looking for is whether or not he has the appropriate license, because it is a commercially protected fin fish, and that this is farmed raised in Texas with the appropriate documentation. Excellent. Thank you very much. That's exactly what we were looking for.
A third component of fisheries management is a hatchery program that enhances existing fish populations and advances research efforts. Texas Parks and Wildlife operates 3 marine hatcheries along the Texas coast.
Every year, our fisheries managers give us a quota on the number of fish that we're to produce. And for instance, this year we're producing 24 million red drum fingerlings and release them into our Texas bays.
Inside the hatchery, biologists manipulate the daily hours of light and change the water temperature to mimic the spawning conditions the fish naturally experience in the wild.
Not all the rooms spawn at one time. This room will spawn for about a month and a half or 2, then we'll stop it from spawning. We can collect each morning anywhere from a couple of 100,000 to 6 to 8 million eggs.
We find, on average, somewhere between about 1 and not quite 10% of all the red drum in a bay are going to be hatchery fish. There are a lot of fish in Texas bays and estuaries, which tells you in terms of numbers that there's quite a few fish out there that are hatchery fish, and so the hatchery program is effectively doing its job.
While redfish populations in Texas are doing fine,
493.
Sampling surveys indicate a decline in the numbers of southern flounder.
30.
Up and down the coast, population of southern flounder has been diminishing. You know, it's more so down in the lower coast and upper coast, but overall the population is going down. For the past several years, we've been working on developing methods and techniques to grow southern flounder.
Flounder are totally different from redfish and trout. It's a whole new ball game. So we're at the beginning stages of learning how to culture this fish. And so what you're seeing right now are some of the first spawns that Parks and Wildlife has done in this manner.
What we're going to do is release some of these fingerlings into this nice estuarine habitat. We've got a really good incoming tide and really good shoreline with a lot of grass, a lot of cover and protection for these fish.
The survival of any kind of fish depends upon habitat. That's the fourth component of fisheries management, habitat protection. With the increasing number of boats on the water, these critical habitats are threatened by boat propellers that gouge out scars in the shallow bays. At the Redfish Bay State Scientific Area, biologists are conducting research on the impact of prop scars.
We have a set of scars. We revisit on a monthly basis and collect measurements such as width, depth, percent of coverage, the different species that are in the scar, as well as in the surrounding area that was not disturbed. So we want to compare this disturbed area of the scar to the adjacent non-disturbed area
This research will help evaluate the regulations in Redfish Bay. But most seagrass in Texas is unprotected, and its health depends upon the support and awareness of the public. This is the fifth and probably most important aspect of fisheries management. Without public support, compliance, and participation, fisheries management would be impossible.
That's why I want to make sure that you still had the option to rip that red drum tag off.
One grassroots organization of private citizens that has grown into a major force is the Coastal Conservation Association. What they started here has extended well beyond our shores.
CCA is now in 17 states, started in Texas and grew rapidly all the way up the Atlantic coast and now to the Pacific coast, and nearly 100,000 members and volunteers. So it's been an incredible story of growth and an incredible story of accomplishment.
One of the most important ways CCA has impacted conservation has been through an evolution in the attitudes of anglers.
Wading the long flats and seeing redfish that you throw your fly out in front of and they snatch that fly. I just love to be outside. I love to see the sunrise and just enjoy being out on the water. Plus, I just never get tired of pulling in a fish and looking at it and letting it go.
We've changed what it takes to make an individual satisfied with their experience in nature, with their experience on the water. They don't just go catch a fish, they look at the birds. They worry about the brown tide. They worry about the red tide. They worry about the freshwater inflows. They worry about the dam in the rivers, the flood in the timber. Oh, no. Well, there you go. Good job.
Thank you.
Cleaning house isn't my favorite thing to do, so I'm glad nature has its very own cleanup crew. In the air, on the ground, and even in the dirt, critters are hard at work cleaning up, and thank goodness they are.
Turkey vultures use their keen sense of smell and sight to look for roadkill. The turkey vulture is one of the few birds known to rely on smell. Its featherless head allows the bird to poke into messy carcasses and clean up afterward. Black vultures prefer cruising over open fields, using their sharp eyesight to look for food, although they sometimes follow turkey vultures and bully them out of a meal. Eagles and hawks rely heavily on their keen eyesight. As a matter of fact, their eyesight is 8 times sharper than humans, and their eyes take up more space in their skulls than their brains. Coyotes do their part as well. Animal carcasses make up over 1/3 of their diet. They also keep the rat and mice population at bay. When the large predators are done, the invertebrates take over. Ants, termites, earthworms, millipedes, and beetles break down organic matter. One of the more fascinating creatures is the dermestid beetle. These little guys are so efficient that museums actually use them to clean bones and skulls for display cases.
So the next time you see roadkill, never fear. It's a TV dinner, a turkey vulture dinner that is, and the cleanup crew is on its way.
Buck fever mainly strikes hunters. Many times it infects the young, but adults are by no means immune. There he is. Shh. Symptoms include a rapid heart rate and erratic respiration. Memory can become impaired. Unload the gun. And sometimes buck fever can be downright dangerous. Shut up.
If you want to catch buck fever, there's really only one place to go. Just 3 blocks from the Alamo in downtown San Antonio is another Texas legend, the Buckhorn Saloon and Museum.
started in 1881 by a 17-year-old Albert Frederick, who was quite a hunter himself. He collected horns and antlers, traded people beer and shots of whiskey for antlers and rattlesnake rattles over the years. Overall, in the collection, there's over 1,200 trophies that are on the walls of all different species.
What really sets the Buckhorn apart are their trophies of white-tailed deer.
Well, there's two categories of white-tailed deer racks, typical and non-typical. This is a real good example of a typical. Nice smooth lines, tall tines coming off the main beams, very symmetrical, one side to the other. This is a non-typical buck here. He's got a typical frame, which they all do, and he's got little stickers coming off, which are abnormal points. Here's a small drop tine. Any point pointing downwards is always an abnormal point. This buck up here has a deep fork off his second typical tine on the right. That's an abnormal point.
Some racks are so non-typical they are considered freaks, and these are the ones that interested Albert Frederick the most.
We've got the barnacle buck here that is one of the museum's favorites, very unusual. We've got another one to its left here with a big bulbous growth growing out of it. Their antlers real heavy at the base, sprouting up like this one right here with just a few points. Another one above it with real small antlers but palmation, very unusual. Of course, the one above that, the small guy with the wings sticking out, very symmetrical on each side but very abnormal also.
Several white-tailed trophies hold top 10 rankings in the Boone and Crockett record books.
This is the 284 and 3/8 non-typical. It's the #1 deer in Texas in the non-typical category, and it's currently #4 in the world. The deer behind the bar is Albert Frederick's logo buck. This is the Brady buck, the 78 pointer. When I say 78 points, that's counting every little bump everywhere. Now in the Boone and Crockett record book in the North American Shed Hunters Club, which this specimen here is the state record, the point has to be at least 1 inch long and longer than it is wide at the base.
Visitors to the Buckhorn come from all over to get a taste of the Old West. And after seeing all this, if you're starting to suffer from a case of buck fever or antler envy,
there's some pretty good yearlings in there, isn't it?
well, don't worry. These biologists are looking for a cure.
Black ear tags are 3 years old. Yellow ear tags are 5-year-old deer.
Wildlife experts here at the Kerr Wildlife Management Area have been studying the growth of deer antlers for the past 25 years. The records on many of these deer go back multiple generations. It's a genealogy found nowhere else in the world. Each October, data is collected from the deer. They are worked through a series of alleys, gates, and chutes. This reduces the amount of time the deer are physically handled, minimizing injury and stress to the animals.
He's got a blue 32 on the right.
Ready. 181.
He doesn't have a lot of antler. Way back in the corner, you still can't see antler. Just 4 years old. He's a 4-point-year-old.
473.
This time of year, the hardened antlers are like human fingernails and can be painlessly removed.
I don't want it.
495.
Early studies at the Kerr area focused on why some deer grew forked antlers with multiple points, while others, called spikes, grew only 2 points. These deer are called spikes since their pair of single tines look like spikes on top of their heads. Some believed that spikes could be the trophy bucks of the future, but until the studies at the Kerr area, there was no scientific proof. The goal of this research was to determine if landowners could manage their deer populations to create a greater number of trophy bucks, the kind of bucks that some hunters will pay big bucks for the opportunity to hunt.
These two deer were raised in the same pen, ate the same type of feed out of the same feed trough. This deer right here was a spike at 1.5 years of age on unlimited, nutrition, good quality nutrition. This is what he was able to produce at 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. That's how long that deer lived. He produced 6 sets of antlers. He started out a spike. He wound up a 9-point deer. This deer over here grew his first set of antlers eating out of the same feed trough as this spike did, but he was a really nice 8-point. This is his first set of antlers at 1.5 years, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5 years of age. This just kind of reaffirms the fact that antlers, we know, are genetically based. Size is genetically based. We take it a little bit further and also say that they are nutritionally influenced. But it's rare for these deer that start out at 1.5 years of age with spike antlers to ever become this type of deer later on in life. 271.
As biologists analyzed the data, some suspected another type of buck existed.
There are probably 3 types of white-tailed deer in any given deer population. And that is those deer, regardless of the nutritional condition, even during a drought year, they have the genetic potential to grow good antlers. And then there's another group of deer in that population that under excellent nutritional conditions, excellent range condition, doesn't make any difference how good the food is, their genetic makeup is such that they are not capable of growing, quote, good antlers. And then there's this group of deer in the middle that we refer to as a swing deer. In a good year, they grow good antlers. In a bad year, they grow poor quality antlers.
This project is called the stress study and is designed to simulate poor nutritional conditions. What may happen, for instance, in a drought. A group of fawns were fed a limited and very low protein diet. When the deer had grown their first set of antlers, any deer that were spikes were not allowed to breed for the next season. Each year, only the best forked antlered bucks were picked to sire the next generation.
The information that we've gained from this study shows that through selection, by never allowing a buck that was a spike to ever breed a doe, we produced no spike antlered yearling bucks 2 years in a row. And a percentage of good quality antlered yearling bucks has steadily increased.
This was very good news for landowners trying to improve the quality of hunting on their property. With this in mind, Texas Parks and Wildlife holds free public tours at the Kerr area for people wanting to learn about the management of white-tailed deer.
They'll breed those does, have fawns, and then we take their fawns, put in the pen here, and we've done this for 7 generations now.
You're producing a buck that can stand...
That does well under poor conditions.
Yeah.
But it's not just individual species that these biologists manage.
The point I'm trying to make with that is these little birds are important for you too. The system is important to you. It's not the deer, it's not the cows, it's the system that's important to you. And it's important to us to get that health and diversity and variety of animals and plants out there.
Healthy deer are just one of the many elements that make up a healthy ecosystem. But often, it's the deer that provide a financial incentive to keep an ecosystem healthy. Next time you're in the woods, maybe you'll be lucky enough to experience the thrill that comes with witnessing one of nature's most beautiful animals. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to experience a case of buck fever.
He's brand new. He's 15 months old. And like I said, we just got him. This is how we test to see if he's going to make it through the program. The first thing we do, you see obviously he wants to play. First thing we'll do is we'll see how much prey drive he has. If he wants to chase it. And then once he catches it, if he'll tug with it. Get it, kill it, kill it. Oh, oh, oh. He doesn't mind us messing with his head, he'll still tug. Oh. He'll come back for more play.
good boy. Oh, get them. See, that one's dead, so he's already killed that one. See if he'll drop that one and go for this one. And he will, because it's alive now. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Here we go. Now we'll test his hunt drive by throwing it somewhere where he can't get it. Previous tests, he's done it over 2 minutes without getting distracted. Looks like he's going to be very good.
Hey, you ready to go? Huh?
Really feel like we can go back and continue training our dogs and have a pretty fantastic team for the state.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchase of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year.
Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.